Hey everyone, Robert Ferringo of Doc Sports, next with my number 11 team in my 2023 NFL Power Rankings Countdown. Today we are at the Denver Broncos. Now, you probably don't agree with this ranking, frankly, at number 11. Not a lot of people do, and I completely understand why after what happened last year. So, look, you ever been to the casino and you know those lurkers around the slot machines, right? You're there pumping quarters in, pump dollars into the slot machine, lose, get pissed off, walk away from the slot machine, and then when those lurkers come sneaking up after, they put their money in and they win, because that's how those machines pay out. A lot of losing, little winning. If you have a machine that just isn't paying out at all, it means it's going to. You just got to have that patience to stick with it. Or be a lurker, and when everybody else gets pissed off and walks away, you swoop in and get the jackpot. Actually had that happen to me in Hull in Canada one time when I was about 19 years old. Lost about, me and my then girlfriend, now wife, are waiting for my parents to finish up. I just start pumping in some quarters into slot machines. I never play slot machines. I hate slot machines. Slot machines are worthless, but, just killing some time. Then I lose, and then I probably went through $20 in a matter of minutes. I'm pissed. I'd won money all day on cards and horse racing. I didn't want to end like that, so whatever. So I'm done. I'm just not going to lose any more money. And this woman who had been watching me comes swooping over, and like 60 seconds after I stopped playing, she hit an $800 jackpot right in front of me. It's all coming full circle for me, though. I'm the lurker now, and I'm lurking with the Denver Broncos. Last year, they were the trendy team. May have heard me talk about that in some of the other videos. Every year there's one. This year it's the Detroit Lions. Last year it was the Denver Broncos. The Broncos were the trendy team. They had the 7th highest season win total, 7th best odds to win the Super Bowl. Everybody was hyped up about Denver coming into last season, right? What happened? They threw up on themselves, went 5-12, were a monster disappointment. Burned absolutely everyone. Everybody that was betting on them to win the Super Bowl, to win the AFC, to win the AFC West, their season win total, everyone who was betting on them in the games. I think one of my highest rated plays in week 1 last year was Denver to beat Seattle. And they should have. They absolutely should have. That was just the tone setter for the year. So everyone is feeling burned by Denver from last year. So everyone's walking sideways away from them, not buying it. Not going to fool me again this year is what they're saying. I see an opportunity. This year's Broncos team isn't last year's Broncos team. Sean Payton is one of the best NFL head coaches of the last 40 years. There's no doubt about it. You cannot convince me otherwise. He is a great NFL head coach. Everything that he said about Nathaniel Hackett a few weeks ago, he was 100% right on. Nathaniel Hackett was a joke. That was one of the worst coaching jobs in NFL history. Now, we can make the argument, should Sean Payton have said that? Did he violate some NFL coaching bro code? I don't care about that argument. What he said was true. What he said was correct. Broncos did have talent last year. It was squandered by terrible coaching and horrible organizational infrastructure. That's gone. Sean Payton's here now. Sean Payton is going to get things under control. When he took over the New Orleans Saints, the Saints had been one of the worst organizations in the NFL. People lionize Tom Benson now. He was not a good owner. He really wasn't. Remember the Aaron Brooks New Orleans Saints? Constant underachievers. Sean Payton came in, cleaned up that entire organization, and he's looking to do the same thing here with Denver. Denver went 5-12 last year. That was a 6th straight losing season. They had only had 6 losing seasons in the previous 35 years. This is not normal for Denver to be this bad for this long. New owners, new coach, new vibe. And I think it's for the better because I see a lot to like on this team. All right? Obviously, it starts with Russell Wilson. Almost as important as Russell Wilson's bounce back is what's going to happen with Joe Lombardi. Lombardi worked with Sean Payton in New Orleans. Are they going to be able to generate the same level of offensive production with this Denver team that they were able to for years and years with Drew Brees in New Orleans? Lombardi flamed out with the Chargers last year. That went spectacularly wrong last year with the Chargers. Out after 1 year. Kind of embarrassing for a guy that's had a pretty proven track record. Can they get it going? What does 35-year-old Russell Wilson still have left in the tank? I think enough. He's not that dude anymore. He doesn't have to be. Now, the receiving room took some hits with KJ Hamler going on the NFI. He should be back, hopefully. Here's to his recovery and health. Tim Patrick done for the year. They still have some guys in that receiver room, though. Cortland Sutton isn't getting any younger. Jerry Jeudy kind of step up and carry the load, like some of their tight ends. They're going to run the ball because they invested heavily on the offensive line, starting with Mike McGlinchey. Okay, they have a new center, Kyle Fuller. They have 3 new offensive line starters. Ben Powers, another real nice pickup for them. Love the way they invested in that offensive line. Really turned it around up front. That's going to help the running game. That's going to help protect Russell Wilson. That's going to help get that offense going. And they don't need to be great on that side of the ball. Even though Sean Payton has a very proven track record of being great and having great offenses. Denver had a top 10 defense last year. They have all-pro talent at all 3 levels on that field. They have a fantastic defense. They finished in the top 10. They had a top 10 total defense last year, despite Denver being number 32 in points allowed at 16.6 points per game and number 31 in time of possession. Denver's defense got no help from the offense last year. It's complementary football, right? You can't be good in a vacuum. Denver's defense was good in a vacuum. They're very good. They were dominating at times. If they can maintain that production this year, the offense is going to be better. They're going to run the ball more. They're going to be better at time of possession. That's going to take some of the pressure off. It's easier to play defense when you're playing with a lead, right? The Broncos defense wouldn't know. They weren't in that situation all that often last year. But I think that they're better on both sides of the ball. And I think that this team is extraordinarily undervalued because of Sean Payton, because of some of the free agency pickups, and because of just kind of the bizarre nature of last year's team. They were 4-9 in one-score games last year. They had an absolutely ridiculous 19.3 offensive yards per point. That is insane. That is pure regression right there. That was obviously worse in the league, by the way. They were 1.4 wins below their Pythagorean win expectation, which still wasn't good, right? Like, even if we kick him a couple extra wins, they're still 7-10 from a team that people were predicting were going to win 12 games. They were number 32 in adjusted games lost to injury. And that was after finishing number 27 in poor injury luck the year before that. Is that a trend? Is that bad luck? Is that 2 years of bad injury luck that they're going to make up for this year? I don't know, but the more you deep dive into some of these numbers, the more you see the Broncos as a regression candidate. So when you mix all of that together, I absolutely like them to go over 8.5 wins. I think that they are better than the Chargers. I think that they can be at least a threat to Kansas City, a team that kind of overachieved last year relative to its statistics. I like the Broncos this year. I think they're gonna have a winning season. They're gonna snap that streak. They will not have a 7th straight losing season. I think they have a really good chance to go back to the playoffs. And I'm 100% buying into Peyton, Wilson, and everybody else. I understand if you're hearing me. If I'm still not convincing you, I completely understand, because you were probably one of the people that got burned last year by how bad this team was and how much they underachieved. But I see an opportunity. I see some value. I'm definitely going to be in on the Broncos. That's why I have them ranked number 11. Take the over. So that's it for today. Check back tomorrow as we get into the top 10 of my NFL Power Rankings countdown. Until then, carpe diem and good luck.